Hey gang, what's going on? We're back here. We're drinking. We're watching some race footage from last weekend. I'm gonna recap here. This is the Races at the Lake series. This is race number 3 in the series. I'm doing the Masters race. This is my second race of the day. That there in front of me is Adam. He is basically our team owner slash team captain director, do it all master, Cat 2 racer, strong guy, and we're starting this a little late into the not totally late. I think I started like 11 minutes in. I was just trying to conserve some battery life because I had recorded the first race of the day, my 3-4 race, which didn't go as planned. But anyway, so as you can see, that guy on the left there in the black kit, he's part of the elite team, and they had like 6 or 7 guys racing. So solid number of guys, solid team, and this here is the basically the finishing stretch. Right there is the 200-meter sign, and right now our teammate Pete is up the road. So there's only 3 of us in this race, so we're against the like that elite team. They got like I said, 6 guys, 7 guys, and a couple other teams. There goes 2 more. That guy's riding solo there. But anyway, Pete's been in a break for like 10 minutes or so. They're getting ready to get pulled back, so Pete actually drops off, and because he realizes they weren't working well together, so they were getting caught. So, yeah, when this footage picked up, we were like 29 minutes remaining in the race. So there's Pete. We're getting ready to pass him. Pete he's a maniac. He's doing the Garmin Unbound 200 mile race, gravel race in like 2 weeks or some shit. It's crazy. But he rode to the race and got there like 10 minutes before the first race started. So he rode an hour and 10 minutes or something to get to the race. Yeah, this race is in Ohio, by the way, so we're all camping out and whatnot. So I love this little chicane here. Come flying through here, like single file, just so much fun. Yeah, I really like the course, even though it wasn't like totally tailored to me. I like a more technical, flatter race, but in a big group like this, it was really fun. Had a good time, and yeah. So as you can see, Adam, he's super strong. Like, he just goes to the front, just rides. Like, he's pulling the whole field along. Now, I made some mistakes. Like, right here, this guy goes. I should have followed his wheel just to try and be in a move and give Adam a break, but I didn't. I'm very hesitant. I'm not used to racing with a team, so I'm used to racing solo. So a lot of my decision making is solo making, like thinking I'm racing by myself right now. So I'm trying to break that mentality when I'm racing with my team, but I gotta revert to that when I'm racing by myself again. So it's a lot of flip flopping back and forth. So as you can see, we're punching Pat. I'm sorry, I'm drinking. This is fun. We're passing a small group that we're lapping them, and as you can see, there again, Adam's on the front, just pulling us along. And coming up into my little favorite spot here. It got tight a couple times because people were dive bombing that corner, but we all stayed safe. Like, there was 0 incidents in this race, so I was happy about that. In the 3-4 race, it was good. Got a little dicey a couple times, and one accident on the last lap, but some guy broke his collarbone, so that kind of sucked. So as you can see, so Adam's like, no, I'm not going to pull anymore. So this guy on the elite team starts to go, and then he realizes I'm right on his wheel, so he pulls the plug. which I thought was funny. But glad I could be there, because that way Adam wouldn't get jumped and we'd miss the move. So. And again, yeah, Adam's just still on the front, just pulling everybody along, but then he pulls off to the left, and he's like, nope, I'm not going to do this. Because, like, everybody was eyeballing him for sure. Like, they were watching him. They knew. They knew who to watch. And so that guy goes. Adam tells me to go. I was kind of on that mindset anyway. And so I cover this move. And yeah, so here's another place where I fucked up. Like right here, I should have pulled through. Like I should have just went by the guy and let him get on me. Instead, I slowed up, and I have to put in another effort to keep my momentum up. I messed that up, so it's something I need to work on again. Like I'm used to racing solo, so I was in that mindset, but I should have pulled through. And then again, here's another mistake. Like after this first little hump on the way to the finishing stretch, right here, I should have flicked an elbow, had someone else come around me. Everybody else in racing is like playing checkers or chess, and I'm playing checkers. Like I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm doing my best. It's not very good, but I'm trying. So we get caught right here, so everybody comes around, and I hop back onto the back of the field here. And I was happy, I was covered a move, and I was able to jump back onto the back of the pack and recover. So good stuff. Happy with my performance, considering that this is my second race, and we're back to back. Like we did 3-4 race, and then right into the Masters race. So we just passed 5 laps to go. We're coming into 4 laps to go. Plan was to try and get someone into a break, one of us into a break, mainly Pete or Adam, not me. I can't ride a break on this course. But if we couldn't get someone into a break, the plan was to lead me out for a sprint finish. So I don't know if you just heard me. I yelled at Pete that I was on his wheel, just let him know that hey, I'm still in the race. I'm still here. He took off. I didn't really need to put that much effort in right then and there. We, still 4 laps to go, and I found it relatively easy to move up on the climb when I was near the back of the pack, because it was kind of like a headwind going into the uphill, and if you're on the back of the pack, you catch the hell of a draft, and you could just move right on up, no problem, to the front. So yeah, as you can see, everybody's bunching up here, and I'm just barely working, and I'm cruising right back into the pack, no problem. So back on Pete's wheel, and Pete is it's a lot of body movement, and that's not something Pete does on a climb normally. I mean, this, you can't even call this a climb. It's a little hill, and he's working his body a lot. As you can see, like comparing him to other riders, he's working a lot on his body there. So his body language is off. Talking to him after the race, he said with 3 laps to go, he started cramping up as we were coming in 3 laps to go. And if you notice here, he stops pedaling, and he's letting gaps open, and then this guy on the left passes him, and it's like, come on, man, we're coming in at 3 to go. You need to be following wheels. Like, we need to be in this. And he's just letting, like I said, he's letting gaps open. So I'm not sure what's happening. So in this chicane, I decide that I want to move up around Pete, just in case he is struggling. So I just tell him there I'm on his insides. I take the inside line. He lets me in. And so some solid movements. Like I said, we're coming into 3 laps to go, so A lot of pressure being put on right now. The pace is picking up, and yeah. So these guys, like, there's a group up the road there. You can see like 5 or 6 riders. Adam's in that group, so I am not going to get to the front and try and push this pace if we can split him off the front, because if in a selective group he could win that. He's a savvy rider. I know he could do that. So I'm just going to follow these guys. If they bridge up, then they bridge up. If they don't, then I'll just ride this until the end. And it turns out I'm not putting my rear camera footage up as I'm doing the commentary, but in the rear camera, when I reviewed it, when we hit the hill, we had like 3 seconds on the group behind me. That was behind me. So we had split the field. If they had kept pushing up this hill, there would have been a separation. It would have been like a 50-50 split of the race. Like we're in the top 10 here, and then it would have been 10 or 15 riders behind us. But since everybody kind of sat up here, that group caught back onto us. So now we're coming into 2 laps to go. You just saw Ryder launch up the road there. So he attacks. He's riding by himself, so he's trying an early move to see if he can stick it. He's a little guy, so it's a good possibility on this course. If it was a bigger rider, I wouldn't be worried about it, because like I'd die on that hill by myself. So there goes someone else chasing him down, and then I think this elite team realizes they're not represented in that, so they go. So then I'm like, okay, Adam's been on the front this whole time. I got to chase. Worst case scenario, we don't get separated, and I, help Adam out, or we get caught real quick and I sit in again for the last lap. But Adam just yells at me to follow this move, so I'm on it. I am starting to feel the previous race. It's catching up to me, as you'll see here in a second. I'm pushing hard. I know we're coming up on 1 to go. This guy is working. Like, kudos to him. Like, he is going for it. And we pass everybody that was up the road except for the guy in the red that took that set this all off. I got a gap here, but I do shut it down. Here's another, little mistake I made with that gap, and then again I look back instead of just going, and I didn't slow down this time, at least, though. I kept on the pedal, but I did look back. My mistake here, if I wanted this move to stick, was instead of going solo like all this time, I should have flicked my elbow to try and get this elite rider that's on my ass to come around and take a pole. But instead I go all in, all the way up this climb, because I had it in my mind that I was going to catch that guy in front of me. Well, guess what? I didn't catch that guy. The elite guy that had been riding my ass the whole time, taking it easy, comes around me, no problem. I'm dead. I'm dying 1,000 deaths trying to catch back on or try and stay on this race. I mean, but when I hit the hill, we had 5 seconds or more on the peloton, but because I slowed down so much on that hill, they caught us easily. So there goes one guy, and then boom, there goes the rest of the pack, and there's Adam, and there's Pete, and the rest of the group, and I kind of gave up here. rode not very smart. I should have tried to get on the back of this group sooner to try and maybe do something at the finish, but instead I put myself into chase mode and trying to chase them down. I do apologize that I don't have the finish on my camera. I have myself finishing, but I did not catch the sprint, as it were, the finish of the race. But Adam got the win, like I said. So, and Pete got fifth. So he recovered from that cramping that he was having in his calves, and went on to get fifth place. So that's awesome. But the only good thing I can say about that move I made with coming up on one to go was that my teammates did not have to chase, and the fact that that other team, the elite riders, they were up. Had one guy up the road. They didn't have to chase either, so everybody else had to work to try and chase us back, and that gave them a chance to rest. They didn't have to do any work. So coming into the last lap, they were a little fresher than the other guys. So from what I understand, Adam ended up getting like 2 or 3 bike links on second place. So he definitely crushed it. Like I said, he was riding strong all day. He was clearly the strongest guy in the field, and he just needed some help. And I think Pete and I did, what we could to help him out. And it's awesome. Like, it was an awesome feeling being out there racing again and having teammates and working together. And Adam was an awesome coach, like during the race, like, yelling out at us and stuff, and it sounds like, like he's barking orders at us or something, but sometimes people need that, and in a race, like, it definitely helps me because I'm new to racing as a team. So that was really helpful, and so it was just so much fun. Like, we had so much fun racing together. And then my friend, one of our teammates, Caitlin, she was out there and she raced. She actually joined us in the Masters race, but dropped out for like 10 minutes or so. She was just using it as a warm-up. But she went on to... Oh, yep, there's my bike throw. She went on to race the women's 1-2-3 race and got second place in that in a head-up sprint. So that's awesome. So good day for us. Here's some stats. My normalized power was 288 watts. Average power was 242. We averaged 25 miles an hour. It was a 40-minute race. And we did 16 and a half miles. And all in all, it was awesome. I had a great time. So, till next time, namaste, bitches.